We discover you now claimed £1,100 on taxis, including an individual claim for £192. Is that acceptable for an inner London MP?
The 190 figure is, I think, a dozen taxi bills.
Do you think the taxpayer should be paying over £1,000 for you to run around London in taxi?
Well, Andrew, it's not unusual if you work late for any employer for them to help you with your transport home.
Our manifesto sets out how, with a programme that is radical, a programme that will reverse our national priorities. We will change our country, will lead us through Brexit. We're ruling out rises in VAT and national insurance and on income tax for all of the highest earners. Labour will boost the wages of 5.7 million people to £10 an hour. Labour will end the cuts in the National Health Service and reduce waiting lists. Labour will scrap tuition fees and we make no apology for finding the resources to hire 10,000 new police officers. We will build over 1 million new homes. Labour makes no apology.
So how much would 10,000 police officers cost?
Well, if we recruit the 10,000 police men and women over a 4-year period, we believe it'll be about £300,000.
£300,000?
Sorry,
10,000 police officers? What are you paying them?
It will cost about £80 million.
About £80 million?
Yeah.
Right. How do you get to that figure?
We get to that figure because we anticipate recruiting 25,000 extra police officers a year at least over a period of 4 years. And we're looking at both what average police wages are generally, but also specifically police wages in London.
If you divide 80 million by 10,000, you get 8,000. Is that what you're going to pay these policemen and women?
We will be paying them the average...
Has this been thought through?
Of course it's been thought through.
Where are the figures?
The figures are that the additional cost in year one, when we anticipate recruiting about 250,000 policemen, will be 64.3 million.
250,000 policemen?
And women.
Right. So you're getting more than 10,000. You're recruiting 250,000.
No, we are recruiting 2,000 and perhaps 250. And the cost...
So where did 250,000 come from?
What I'm saying about the costs is in year one, obviously, we're getting ready to recruit.
Right.
But in year two, the cost will be 64.3 million. In year three, the cost will be 139.1 million.
Right.
Year four, the cost will be 217 million. And year five, the cost will be 298 million. And that can be amply covered by reversing the cuts in capital gains tax.
We will build over 1 million new homes.
If and when we leave the EU, what would Labour's policy be towards immigration from the EU?
If and when we leave the EU, we would want fair rules and reasonable management.
Would you have a policy on immigration?
The Labour Party's always had a policy. It would be on the basis of fairness.
At the moment we don't have a policy because we can't have one. It is free movement. Your Shadow Cabinet colleague, John Healey, said this week that Labour just doesn't understand what matters to many working class communities. Is he wrong?
He's wrong if what he's saying is that we have to move right on immigration. My belief is that if the Labour Party starts saying and immigration is the cause of all these people's problems, I think if we start saying that, that actually gives credence to UKIP.
Thank you very much. You made that clear at the end.
Labour will boost the wages of 5.7 million people.
In justifying your decision, which we talked about before, don't want to dwell on that, to send your son to a private school, you said, quote, West Indian mums will go to the wall for their children.
I've got nothing new to say.
So black mothers love their kids more than white?
Andrew, I've got nothing new to say.
Why would you say that West Indian mums will go to the wall for their children?
Andrew.
I mean, isn't that a racist remark?
Andrew. Let's talk about
No, I'm talking about what you've said. If West Indian mums are as wonderful as you say, why are there so many dysfunctional West Indian families in this country and so many West Indian young men end up in a life of crime and gangs?
Andrew, I've got nothing more to say.
So you still think West Indian mums
I've got
are the best?
nothing more to say.
Okay.
Our manifesto sets out how, with a programme that is radical, a programme that will reverse our national priorities. We will change our country. Labour makes no apology.